People always think they know my story. Like they watched it unfold from the sidelines. They don't know crap. My name is Courtney. I'm 30. And this is what really happened. I met Mark when we were both 20. In university. We were that couple, the ones who shared a Spotify account before we even shared a bed. We had that we'll grow up together type of love. Everything felt like a co-op mission. I used to always say, when we're rich, let's get a place in the hills. We'll have a pool, a home gym, and I'll fly my mom first class. Notice I never said if we get rich. Always when, like, wealth was a vending machine and we just forgotten to press the button. Mark would laugh. But I was dead serious. I talked about future luxury like it was already shipped. Just delayed in transit, to be fair. I encouraged his entrepreneurial spirit. He always had some scheme brewing, whether it was ADHD-fueled chaos or actual business acumen, depended on who you asked. He started a clothing line, flipped old PCs, ran 5 different YouTube channels, tried all the crypto stuff. Some of it made cash. Most didn't. But he always bounced back with a new idea. I told him that's what I loved about him, that he was always trying. Sounded romantic back then. I had my own drive too. I wasn't just some dreamer waiting for him to make it big. I worked in HR but was always hustling night classes. Podcasts at 1, 5x speed, constantly pushing to level up. We both wanted to escape the 9 to 5 rat race. Then Snapchat entered the picture and started paying creators like drunken lottery winners. Mark figured out he could upload funny compilations with minimal editing. Just needed a little production or a human element, like a voiceover. Next thing we know, he's pulling 5 figures a month. Not high-end 5 figures, but good months. We were laughing in bed, looking at payouts. Bought a new mattress with the first check. Bought a ring with the next T. Got married at 28. Modest ceremony. But I looked like I stepped out of a movie. Everything felt earned. Like the hustle had finally paid off. Fast forward less than a year. Snapchat kills their creator program. They want real creators. Not dudes stitching together TikToks with 10 seconds of voiceover saying, watch till the end. Mark was nuked from orbit. His income fell off a cliff. Went from 30 euro months to 400 payouts. He panicked a little, then panicked a lot. Went to work for his dad, some small-time contracting business. Honest work. Pays okay. Nothing flashy. Meanwhile, the bills didn't get the memo that our income had dropped. Neither did I. I started asking, so what's the next thing? Any new ideas? At first, it was supportive. But over time, it turned into, do you still want more from life? Like a test he was too tired to study for. He kept trying. Launched a site. Started a Shopify store. Freelance editing gigs. But nothing hit like the Snapchat days. The only successful thing we had going was the dog walking business. But that was never going to make us rich. Just some solid side cash. I brought up money more and more until eventually I didn't bring up money at all. I just brought up leaving. You're a great guy, but I can't spend my life waiting for potential. I didn't say it exactly like that. I coded it with a lot more sugar. But that was the message. He wasn't enough for me anymore. After a lot of pleading from him, I still filed for divorce. I think turning 30 made me feel like it was now or never. But I knew the truth. I missed the luxury I thought was guaranteed. It crushed him. He went numb for a full year. Felt like he failed as a man. As a provider, we kept the dog walking business alive. Though, we ran it together. Had real clients, good reviews, easy side money. Couldn't afford to kill it, so we split it. Half mine. Half his. I'd only see him once a month when we split the working days. I always looked put together, bright eyes. New nails? Talking about yoga and brunch? Like I'd won the breakup. He looked like he was doing daily side quests in a depression simulator. He kept grinding, kept working, stopped hoping until he met some new girl from a dating app. From what I heard, she didn't care about luxury, split every bill, never once asked about his next big idea. Honestly, didn't seem to care much about his side hustles at all. 3 months into their relationship, where you get the oops, condom roulette said he was going to be a dad. He freaked out, said this wasn't the plan. He hadn't made it yet. Still felt like a work-in-progress human. The girl was against abortion, said she was keeping it. He could tell there was no convincing her otherwise. He thought of fleeing the country, but decided to stay because he refused to be the man his own dad was. Told her she could move in, that they'd make it work. And shockingly, they did 2 years later, and they're solid. Definitely some rough patches. Like extremely rough, but they both worked through it. They laugh. They argue, but they feel stable. She never once made him feel like a failed investment. Meanwhile, I look like life slapped me with a frying pan, age 10 years into, snapping at clients, venting about credit card debt, miserable to be around. At one point, Mark casually mentioned the kid to me. I got weirdly judgmental. Asked if he really thought it was smart to bring a child into the world when he barely knew the woman. Said something like, "It's just not the thing I expected from you." Like he owed me a life update that fit my narrative of him as a failure. His current girlfriend, of course, she has a name. It's Jessica, said to him. Can you figure out a way to stop doing business with her? Totally fair. But I don't want our life tied to that black hole of regret anymore. So Mark sat me down and said, I want to sell my half of the dog walking business. I expected him to argue, to try to guilt me into something. Instead, I said, honestly, I was going to ask you to buy me out. I'm drowning, sitting on a pile of debt. I wanted a lump sum, told him I was desperate. Then I said, quietly, while flipping through the dog business accounts, neither of us are rich yet, like we thought. But I think now that's not what I really want. Mark didn't respond, just nodded. He became everything I wanted just after I left. Now he sees another woman living what was supposed to be my dream life. She got it all anyway, a real relationship. A home, a family? It didn't come with jet planes or villas or luxury handbags. Just a very judgmental toddler. Mark never thought this would be the win. But now he wouldn't trade it for all the Snapchat money in the world. As for me, people think I'm the villain in this story. They say I threw away a good man because I couldn't handle not being rich. But they don't understand what it's like to have big dreams, to taste success, and then have it ripped away. They don't know what it's like to watch someone you love fail over and over again, each failure chipping away at your respect for them. I had standards. I had expectations. Is that so wrong? I wanted the life we talked about, the house in the hills, the pool, the financial security. Mark promised me that life. He made me believe it was inevitable. And when he couldn't deliver, was I supposed to just pretend I was okay with that? Was I supposed to settle for a life of mediocrity? Everyone says I should have supported him more, that I should have stood by him through his failures. But I did support him for years. I encouraged his crazy schemes. I celebrated his wins. I comforted him after his losses. But there comes a point when support turns into enabling. When does standing by your man turn into watching your life slip away? Mark was a dreamer, not a doer. He had a million ideas but no follow-through. He was always chasing the next big thing instead of building something sustainable. I wanted a partner, not a project. When I left him, I thought I was freeing myself. I thought I'd find someone who was already successful, someone who could give me the life I wanted. But dating in your 30s is a nightmare. All the good ones are taken, and the ones who are left are either divorced with kids like Mark or single for a reason. I went out with a guy who owned 3 properties. Seemed perfect at first. Took me to nice restaurants. Drove a luxury car. Talked about his investments. But he was controlling, wanted to know where I was all the time. Who I was with, what I was wearing. It was exhausting. Then there was the guy who worked in finance. Made 6 figures. Had a penthouse apartment. But he was never around. Always working. Always traveling. What's the point of having money if you don't have time to enjoy it? I tried dating guys my age. Guys without money? Guys with potential? But I couldn't do it. I couldn't go back to that life of wondering when the next paycheck was coming. Of stressing about bills. Of pretending that struggling was romantic. Meanwhile, Mark is living my dream life with Jessica. They have a kid, a stable home, a future. He's working for his dad now, making decent money. Nothing fancy, but enough. They're happy, genuinely happy. And I'm alone, struggling financially, emotionally, in every way possible. The dog walking business was my last connection to him, my last source of stable income. Now I'm selling my half because I need the money. I'm drowning in debt from trying to maintain a lifestyle I can't afford. People say I got what I deserved, that I'm being punished for leaving Mark when he was down. But I don't see it that way. I see it as life being unfair. Why does he get to be happy? Why does he get the family, the stability, the contentment? He's the one who failed. He's the one who couldn't make our dreams come true. Sometimes I think about reaching out to him. Not to get back together. I wouldn't go back even if he asked. But just to, I don't know, remind him I exist. Prove I'm doing fine without him. Show him what he's missing. I never do, of course. I have some pride left. But the thought is always there, lurking in the back of my mind. The other day, I saw Mark and Jessica at the park with their kid. They looked like one of those perfect families from a commercial. Mark was pushing the kid on a swing. Jessica was watching with this look of pure love on her face. For a moment, I felt this pang of something jealousy, regret. I don't know. Then I remembered that could have been me. That should have been me. But it's not. And it's never going to be. I sold my half of the dog walking business to Mark. Got enough money to pay off some debts, but not enough to change my life. I'm still working the same job, still living in the same apartment, still wondering where it all went wrong. Mark and Jessica are talking about buying a house. A real house. Not in the hills like I wanted. but in a nice neighborhood with good schools. They're planning their future, building their life together. And I'm still here, still alone, still wondering what happened to the girl who had it all figured out. The girl who knew she was going to be rich, who knew she was going to have it all. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if I'd stayed with Mark, if I'd supported him through his failures, if I'd been content with a simple life. Would we be happy now? Would we have that house, that family, that stability? I'll never know. And honestly, I'm not sure I want to. Life is about choices. I made mine. I chose to leave when things got tough. I chose to hold on to my dreams of luxury and success. I chose myself over my marriage. Some people might call that selfish. I call it self-preservation. Mark moved on. He found someone who doesn't care about money, who doesn't have big dreams of luxury, who's content with a simple life. Good for him. I hope they're happy. I really do. As for me, I'm still looking, still hoping, still believing that somewhere out there is the life I was promised, the life I deserve. It might not come with Mark. It might not come with a family or a white picket fence, but it'll come. It has to, because I'm Courtney. I'm 30, and I'm not done yet.